pues los dos sentimos mutuo amor profundo, y con eso ya ganamos lo más grande de este mundo. Nos amamos, nos besamos como novios, nos deseamos y hasta veces sin motivo y sin razón nos enojamos.
Right. Listen, I don't know where this is going, but I have been asked to do an initial presentation. And basically what that means is that I want to welcome you about, 3 hours before it started. I want to tell you that you, each and every one of you, honor this family by coming here and electing to celebrate this milestone of being married to Magna for 40 years. So I do want you to know that Magna and I have a memory book, and most of those memories have to do with individuals from this very room. So I want to thank you all for being part of one of our most prized possessions. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Now, I want to make a comment. I've very rarely made any observations of any particular value. But there's one that I think that is going to be worthy of your attention. Once in a while, a so-so guy gets lucky and meets a pretty special woman. And if he's really lucky, he gets married to her. So I want you to know that that very special woman has to be my wife. So 40 years later, lots of memories, lots of this and that's, and two incredible human beings that were our children, who continue to make us so proud with what they're doing in their lives. Thank you to the kids. Thank you, Marina. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I'm getting to that point where I'm having to accept that I'm in the twilight of my career. I never really thought that I was going to have to say that, but it's true. I think that there are a few amongst you that have been listening to me say I was going to retire any time.
10 years ago.
Yeah, at least. And I just have never been able to quite do that. And I want you to know that the biggest reason for that is because my work has been a very exceptional opportunity for me and my happiness. And I want you to know that I am getting there. It's not quite as easy as it used to be. But it's been an exceptional career. If I had to do it again, what I would do is I would spend more time with my wife and my children and my friends and my family. And that's the only thing that I would change. But given that I will be retiring in a not too distant future, don't hold me on that. I want you to know that, you know, if you hear a knock on the door, ask if it might be him, and if you elect to open the door, we'll be really happy. All right.
Can we have another party just like this one there?
Yeah. Well, I want you to know that some of you asked me, I was really kind of curious about this, but some of you asked me, why we were kind of putting such an emphasis on our 40th. And truth be told, is that my dear wife is not sure I'm going to make it to the 50th. But I promised her that it was going to happen. It's going to happen. And I think that assuming that I do, we are going to have ourselves a good old time. So what I ask of all of you is that you take really good goddamn care of yourselves so that you can be here when we do it.
Hey, Larry.
So I think that's about all that I have to say, but I want to repeat one thing. Thank you so much for being here. You honor me, my wife, my kids. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Larry.
Okay, well, the purpose of my speech was to kind of go back down memory lane and let everyone know how it is that Larry and I even met. Many people, now that I gave everybody saved the date. They said, how in the world did you guys meet anyhow? And when was your wedding? Nobody's even asked us till now. When was your wedding? So I said, I'm going to do it. Just wait, and I'll explain it all today. So, if you don't mind. Well, let's see. This is back in 1978, and I was working. I was a new speech pathologist. Oh, before I tell the story, I really have to introduce two people that are a part of our entire story. Number one is my good friend, Haiti Faust. And the second one is Tino Bernadette. They're very important to our story. So anyhow, what happened was that I had an uncle who had passed away, and it was over the Easter holidays. So we couldn't bury him until Monday, the day after Easter. So Monday is really important for you to know in this story. So on Monday, we had the funeral, etc. And I came home kind of just like low, sad, because, I had to support my mother, my grandmother, whatever. And then my good friend, Haiti and I worked together. We were both speech pathologists in the Richmond Unified School District. We met, and we just kind of connected. And she said, you need an upper. You need something to make you feel better. So she said, I want to take you to hear some music. So, okay, all right. I thought we were going someplace local. We were living in Richmond, right? And she starts driving me, and we're going over the San Francisco Bay Bridge. And I said, where are we going? I never expected that. So we go over the bridge, and we come down to Union Street. And that's why I tell you, that's why we're here today. Everybody says, why did you pick this place? Because Union Street is only like 3 or 4 blocks up. And I wanted to go down memory lane, and that's why we are gathered at this point. She took me to a place called the Reunion on Union Street. And it's a place where young people go and dance and have drinks and whatever. So they were trying to make a real comeback, and they said Mondays will be salsa night. So she said, I heard of this place as salsa night on Monday nights, right? I said, Monday night, we have to go to work tomorrow. She said, oh, just for an hour, and then we'll leave. So she takes me to the reunion. There is one couple sitting way over here, and Haiti and I, 2 women, we just sit down in the middle, and that's all that's there. And this salsa band is going crazy. Beautiful music. We're like, well, what the heck? No one's here. And then the door opens. These 2 handsome, tall, young men walk through the door. It's Tino Bernadette and Larry Barcelona. And I will tell you, I admit it, I went, double double take. They come in and they sit down. And that music is going on, and we're just sitting there. Well, my good friend Haiti stands up and walks over to their table. And I'm like, oh no, I never know what Haiti's going to do. She goes over there and she tells them, hey, you are the only two guys, we're the only two girls, and there's this great salsa music going on. Come on, let's dance. So they were good enough. First of all, they walked in because they were in medical school and they had just taken a big test. So they were there to kind of just like, relax. So they were good enough to take turns with us. So they took turns with us dancing. It was beautiful music, really was. And we were the only people there. And so I think they took a break, and I sat down, Haiti sat down. Then Haiti says, she reminds me, it's Monday night. We have to go to work tomorrow. She says, I'm tired, let's go. And I'm going, no. I said, he has not asked for my phone number. And don't forget, in those days we didn't have cell phones and tags and all of those things, right? So the old-fashioned way is get the girl's phone number, right? So I said, no, please. He hasn't asked for my phone number. She says, okay, just, when they start 1 or 2 songs, but that's it. So she goes over, she invites Larry to dance with her. I don't know what she's saying, as I never know what Haiti's going to say.
What did you say?
Haiti dances with Larry, and I find out later that she said, look, it's Monday night, I'm tired and my feet hurt. If you are at all interested in my friend, you better get her phone number now, because here
So did he get your number?
And so Larry does come over and says, can I have your phone number? And I go, yes. But he tells me, I'm a medical student, and I now have to go. We took this test, and now I have to go to Fresno for 4 to 6 weeks. That's what I remember. 4 to 6 weeks, because we have to do this, what is it called, rotation? Rotation in surgery in Fresno. So I can't call you till after that. And I'm going, okay. So then I said, hey, he's coming. And so she said, let's go. So we get up, we get into the car, we're getting ourselves organized. And I said, Haiti, he said he's a medical student. Haiti says, oh no, that's the oldest line in the book. Haiti was smarter than I was in the nightlife business. I said, okay. And she's getting her keys. I remember we're still in the car and she's organizing, and then I go and say, well, he got my phone number, but he said that he can't call me for 4 or 6 weeks because he's going on a rotation. She said, Magna, that is when his wife is going to go. She said that is when his wife is going to go take a vacation, go see her mother. He can't see you till then. So I'm like, oh God, I'm feeling really bad now. Really bad because I loved him. And then she was ready to go, and then she said, oh, one more thing. If he is a medical student, you find out how many loans he has. money he owed. So I just said, okay, and we went home. Of course, I thought, I'm not saying anything to her anymore. But my whole calendar was watching those days. And at the end of the period of time, 4 weeks, the phone rings.
And he was thinking about you the whole time, Mom.
I don't know about that one. He kept his promise.
Well, it was part of the anatomy. He was thinking of you while he was studying anatomy.
That's right.
So anyhow, so then he does call and said, well, I'd like to meet with you, you know what? So I have to put my thinking cap on because what would Haiti say? So I said, you know, I can't have him come and pick me up and know where I live. So I said, okay, because the medical school in San Francisco is way far away, right? It's up there. And I live in Richmond. So I said, okay, we'll meet halfway. I'll cross the bridge, I'll drive myself, and I'll meet you at the Hyatt Regency in That's why we met. Our party last night was in Embarcadero, because that was our first date. In Embarcadero, having a drink. So anyhow, we dated, whatever, and then, you know, we just kind of, you know how it is. You have to keep it light because he was serious. He was in medical school, and I had asked for a year's leave of absence for that next school year to go to Mexico. I wanted to study with a Spanish-speaking speech pathologist because the bilingual programs had just opened. So that was my reason, and they granted me the leave. So we said, bye, it was nice to know you, bye. And so Larry goes to his third year of medical school, I go to Mexico. And then, you know, whatever, I landed up in Cuernavaca. And I had to live with the family and everything because my father took care of all of that. I had to live with them. And so Larry wrote me, and I wrote him. And Larry wrote me, and I wrote him. And that was for the fall. And then, and remember after Christmas, it started in January, Larry started calling me. And Larry called me once a week. And you know, in those days, that's long distance phone calls. And he called me every week. And you know, Larry lived, I want you to know that everybody at our table were the medical students with Larry at that time. Those are his roommates. And they go back a long ways. And they would share the bills. So they'd take the water bill and all the bills. If the telephone bill came and they go, here's your bill, Larry. So they always get because Larry called me every week. And somewhere along the line, it's hard for me to remember. But you know, end of March, something or the other, Larry proposed to me. And this is over the phone. And I said, this is my famous line. I said, if you want me, come and get me. And so, the next week, I have to wait week to week, right? For the response. The next week he calls me and said, all right, I'm coming. And so, I did have to say when I realized this was happening, I said, oh, not in my family. I said, you have to go talk to my father. And I told him, my father always sits down for lunch at 2 o'clock. You know, we have the restaurants, right? So you have to talk to, you have to make an appointment at 2 o'clock to meet my father and talk to my father. And so he did. Oh. And my father had only met him, I think, once, right, Larry? Before I had left.
1.5 times.
Larry went to him, and I said, and this is formal, so speak to him in Spanish. Because, you know, my father could speak English, but that made it formal. So he did, and he had a conversation with my father. And in Mexico, I was just going up and down, pacing, because I was like, oh God, what is my father going to say? Not that I really needed this, I was older. I mean, what do I need? But somehow I needed it.
It's special.
And so that night my father called and he said, some young man he wanted to marry you. And I go, yeah. And he goes, how is that even possible? You've been over there a year, and he's over here a year. And then he never questioned me, but he said, you have been over there for a year. I said, yes, I was here the whole time. He goes, well, how? And I said, well, he called, I called, he called, he wrote, I wrote, like that. And he's like, well, do you love him? And I'm going, I think so. And so anyhow, so sure enough, they planned the wedding, and Larry called, said, I'm coming, my parents are coming, Fred's coming, his brother, my sister Marina came, and
Gino and Greg?
well, I was going to say, his roommates, they all said, let's go. And so all his roommates came. And I have to say, we were like a total of 20 people. And so that's all we were. And so that's why nobody knows. I said, well, when did you get married? I don't remember that. In Cuernavaca, Mexico. Yeah, in Cuernavaca, Mexico, Larry and I were born.
Your marriage was born.
Yeah. And I never said that much, but my sister loves this line. I said to my father, Papa, you're the father of the bride. Bring the money. So he did. And he went and hired the mariachis and whatever. And Larry and I were married by a justice of the peace, and it was in a hotel. And we were just like 20 people, and all the roommates were there. And I have to really acknowledge today, Greg Thomas is one of the roommates, because we didn't even have a photographer. Greg is the only one that came with a little camera. I would not have a single wedding picture unless it was for Greg. So anyhow, we were married in Cuernavaca, Mexico on May 5th. I know today's the 11th. May 5th, 1979. And so we came back, and here we are.
Cinco de Mayo will never be the same.
But I have to add one last story before I leave you. People say, okay, when did you get married? How did you get married? That's the story. But then some people say, 40 years. How do you stay married 40 years, right? So here, listen to this one. We got married. We had a little apartment in Oakland because we couldn't afford San Francisco. So, we're poor. And anyhow, I'm at home. Tino comes to visit us. Tino's been in our lives all these years. Tino comes to visit us, and I'm there ironing Larry's shirts. And if you ladies remember that cotton shirt that was so hard to iron, and you had to have starch and everything, and I'm ironing, and Tino comes in and he goes, hey, Magna, how things going? Larry wasn't home at the time. And I said, well, fine, but I hate ironing these shirts. I just hate it. They're so hard, and it takes too much of my time. He said, he just kept quiet. And then Larry comes home, hey, hi, Tino. Tino just stands up without even saying hi. He said, Larry, we're going to save this marriage. He said, from now on, you're taking all of your dress shirts to the cleaner. And my mouth dropped because I was like, oh. He said that, and we didn't make much money at that time, right? And I said, oh my God, can everything go to the cleaners? And he said that, and I will tell you, for 40 years to this day, Larry has taken his dress shirt to the cleaners.
I want all to know that I've been ironing my shirt for 40 years.
So that's what keeps the marriage together.
My mom's been planning this event for months now, and
Yes, Mom.
let's
Amazing plan.
give a round of applause. I've already shared the sentiment that I think that in so many ways, between having the phenomenal Trio Ellas and the photography and the venue and all of you here, I think that they really are, celebrating the wedding that they didn't have 40 years ago, and I think that that's very symbolic, that this is the joining of all the people in their life who they would have wanted there at that ceremony, and all the better that we get to be here. But so, given the task of reflecting on this event, Marina and I, we've had a couple phone calls, and where to begin? I've recently been visiting Salinas quite a bit, and on one of my drives back, I had this epiphany, let's call it. One of those, if you could go back in time and do this, or if you could have a dream dinner guest, who would it be? Or, all of these kind of icebreaker questions that we're faced with, and, we read in magazines, or we read in interviews, and it just came to me out of nowhere. I said, what I would give to go back in time and have dinner with my parents when they were just married. And knowing what I know about what they've experienced together, what lives they've created for themselves, what many accomplishments they've had in changing the lives of their students and patients, what I would give to sit with them and to hear them talk about their dreams, and hear them talk about why they chose each other, and hear them talk about what they thought might happen. I don't think that they could have ever imagined that their life would turn out as it has. I'm so proud of them for everything that they've done. And I think that for me, when I think about my parents' life and their union, I think about how significant it is and how symbolic it is, even in the history of this country. Theirs is a story of being, the children of immigrants and contributing something, I think, to our society that is so unique. And because of who they are, I think that their contribution in many ways has, it's not celebrated in the way I think it should be. But my mom is now retired, and my dad, as he mentioned, is getting close. I think that what they've accomplished is simply remarkable, and it really brings me great joy to have been a part of that and to have seen it, and to be able to stand here now and celebrate with you all with their life. I'm going to turn it over to my sister in a second.
So I want to speak briefly to my parents, to our parents. It's hard to put into words the gratitude that we have for you as our parents. I truly... I don't think Nicolas and I will ever be able to thank you enough for what you have given us as parents. I think that throughout our entire lives, unconditional, unwavering love, tough love, support, and just this belief in us, no matter what. And I think that it's rare to find that kind of unconditional love, and we feel it so tremendously and have felt it our entire lives. And so I just truly, like from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for being our parents, and thank you for parenting us in the way that you have. I think as we've gotten older, Nicolas and I have had a lot of moments, these conversations where we think, everything we know, like, not everything, most everything we know, we learned from you. These life lessons that you have been giving to us since we were babies, right? Like these life lessons that we've carried with us every day and will continue for the rest of our lives. And I think that you two have set this example for us about what it looks like to work hard, to struggle, to endure really hard things, but to stay hopeful, to keep faith always, to lean on each other, to put your family first, to love your community, and to celebrate, like to be joyous. And these are things that I think growing up, I just did not realize how much they would mean to me now as an adult. And I think that we focus all the time about, we know how proud you are of us, and you've told this to us our whole lives. But for us to have the opportunity to say, like, we are proud that you are our parents. We are so proud of you. And you have set the example for the kind of relationships that we hope to embody in our life and in our future. And to just live up to this beautiful life that you all have created. And we are so grateful to you. Thank you.
Before we conclude with a toast, in thinking about what Marina has said, and that is the fidelity with which you have, lived according to the vision that you have, and lived in such a way that the love you felt and the connection you felt and the purpose that has guided your life is as present now as it ever has been. And so I think that with that in mind, and that's not something that I think that I'm unique in observing. I've heard from, guests here in attendance that they feel, being with you now and getting to know you now, you still have this energy and joy in living that is infectious. And so, I feel blessed in realizing that I need not travel back in time, because it's here with us today. It's a 5-hour drive from Los Angeles, and a drive that I look forward to making many more times to come. But in stepping back, and it's already been acknowledged, the extent to which the couple that we are celebrating, the family that we are celebrating, is really in thanks to the contribution of people here in this room. And you are people who knew our parents when they were just born, when they were in elementary school, when they were in medical school, when their careers were really just taking off. You are people who spoke into their lives, who guided them through many challenges, and who have, I think, shared with them a vision of the world that keeps them excited about life and about love. And so before we conclude and continue to celebrate my parents, Marina and I both really want to take a moment to thank you all and celebrate you, because your contribution has been invaluable. We appreciate you, we respect you. We're so grateful for your presence in our lives. At this time, we'd actually like to open it up to the group. We have only a few minutes before we'll be transitioning into the other room, but if there's anyone here who would like to share a brief word before we conclude with a toast.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle, but more importantly, I'm the son of Haiti. That's important. I'm just coming up here to validate the story. For 35 years, I have been hearing, I did that. I made that happen. There was times when Monterey felt far away and I didn't want to go to Monterey, and she said, you need to go see Nico and your godparents, because it's because of me that they're together. So, hearing that story for the first time from Magna, from beginning to end, validated for me because I don't know that I believed every part of it.
Hey, well, I'm Marina Gonzalez, and for the Marcelo family, I'm a lot of everything. I'm really intertwined in their lives. I'm not only Magna's sister, but I'm Larry's sister-in-law, and I'm Tia Marina to these two here. And I'm also namesake with little Marina, and I'm also the godmother. and then also I was the maid of honor. But you know, these things, they just take a lot of work. And as everybody has said, it takes a lot of planning, what you're going to drink, right, what you're going to eat. And a year ago, just about a year ago, we were already here eating, figuring out what the menu is going to be and if we like the food. And so it takes a lot of work. So we said, well, Magna Larry said, well, we want the strawberry shortcake for dessert, because we really love that. And they were saying, well, I don't know if we can give you strawberries. Magna said, but they're in season. They're in season. Mother's Day, doesn't everybody eat strawberries in May? You know, well, we don't know that, and we can't. So Larry says, well, we'll bring them up from Watsonville. So Larry, they tell me to pick up your overalls in the back. Thank you, Larry. We like the strawberries. Okay, and so also just want to let you know, because it was so much work to do all of this, don't expect a 50th anniversary. I told Larry, you don't know about 50 years, so we better do it now. So this is like 40th and 50th. And just the last thing is just to say that we are really, all of us here, I can speak for everybody, we really thank Magna Larry because this is a gift for us. So thank you.
I know it's getting late, but don't worry. I believe in that when you talk to people, you make sure that you're benevolent, you're brief, and then you're gone. So, this is going to be brief. So I'm Tino. I have known Larry for 45 years. And Haiti and I were always in competition. So who's more responsible for his marriage? Right? So remember, I was there the evening of the reunion. I was the one who encouraged Larry to go to the reunion. I was the one that reminded Larry that Magna was somebody that he can't let go. Right? However, I was there even before that. So I knew Larry in college, and in between college and medical school, I decided it'd be nice to go to a place called Yalapa. It's this beautiful little precious town in Mexico that you can't get there other than by boat. And it was just so peaceful and wonderful. I was there for a number of weeks, and then Larry came and visited me. And we had the best fun. We sat in a little palapa, we ate guanabana off the tree, we could go in the morning and get our fish. And while we were there, Larry also happened to meet a very pretty young lady, right? So we had just the most wonderful time there. And actually, I didn't want to leave, but I realized, you know what? We're going to be starting medical school pretty soon, so we should probably get back to the United States, right? So here I am, we're on the beach, and Larry just really doesn't want to go. So I have to pull him onto the canoe. And then once we're in the canoe, I thought, okay, we're in the canoe. Then I noticed Larry was starting to get up the canoe, diving back into the bay. And, so I hold him back physically, right? Then we get to the big boat to take us back to Puerto Vallarta, still holding on to Larry, reminding him that she's not the one for you. You will find somebody like Magna someday. Yeah. And so here we are. I'm so proud to be the godfather of Marina because she has really kept that.
I just think it's time to talk about the social context of this whole thing. Larry was this little Chicano boy out of LA who got caught up in the machine of Vietnam War, ended up like a lot of them going to the Vietnam War and getting spit out of it. With no more image than that, he joined the United Farm Workers at $5 a week to do something with his life. And we met there and worked the boycott together. And when the boycott ended, Larry said to me, you know, I think I go at the GI Bill, I could go to medical school, or I could go to school on the GI Bill, and maybe do I could become a pre-medic guy. I could, what's it called? The guys that go with the fire. Yeah. And he said, I could do that maybe, and he did. He went to Davis to do that. He had no money at all, and he would call me and tell me, I'm living in this guy's closet. That's where I sleep at night. After there for 2 years, he called me one night and said, you know, I've been going to medical classes and I think I could become a doctor. The kind of image that where you come from and where you go to, huh? It's a lot of what society allows you. And there was a time in the 60s when we could do those kind of things, in the 70s. And he became a doctor. And the rest is history, but it didn't come easy. Thank you.
All right, we will keep it simple and sweet. To the beautiful couple, we love you. Many more years of happiness and love and friendship. We love you.
Como quien se vuelve loco y confunde su pasado y su presente, como si fuera brujería. Tu alegría me llenó completamente. Qué milagro fue, vida mía. Qué manera tienes de amar.
My wife has asked me to sing her a song. When she mentioned and asked me to do that, I thought about it and I said, I don't know, Magna. People might think that I'm showing up. She thought about it for a moment and she said, no, Larry, don't worry. The moment they hear your voice, they'll know you're not showing up. I'm going to sing a song to my wife. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos en este amor. Nuestras almas se acercaron, tanto así que yo guardo tu sabor, pero tú llevas también sabor a mí. Y si negaras mi presencia en tu vivir, bastaría con abrazarte, conversar. Tanta vida yo te di que por fuerza llevarás sabor a mí. No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad. En mi vida soy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Más de 1.000 años, muchos más, yo no sé si tengo amor. La
pero ya tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí.
Eso.
No pretendo ser tu dueño, no soy nada, yo no tengo vanidad en mi vida. Soy lo bueno, soy tan pobre que otra cosa puedo dar. Pasarán más de 1000 años, muchos más. Yo no sé si tengo amor, la eternidad, pero ya tal como aquí, en la boca llevarás sabor a mí.
Se ha dicho que este mundo tiene mucho que ofrecer y tú esperando a alguien que te quiera complacer. Amor vendrá, tiempo habrá, no pierdas toda una vida sin poderla disfrutar. Cree cuando digo, tienes dentro de ti todo lo que se necesita para vivir. Deja muy lejos los viejos consejos que por alguien no hay que rendir. Buscar nuestro destino nos llenará la vida de pasión. Nunca olvides por quién vive, eres todo un tesoro. Cuando entiendes lo que eres, no te hace falta amor. No pierdas interés en lo que realmente quieres, pero no olvides a tu prójimo amar. De repente, como el niño que se vuelve adolescente, como quien se vuelve loco y confunde su pasado y su presente, como si fuera brujería, con alegría me lleno completamente. Qué milagro fue vida mía, qué manera tienes de amar. De repente me moría por seguir de la corriente, por la noche, por el día, te veía en cada rostro de la gente. Vida mía, de repente caminaste los caminos de mi mente, le quitaste las arrugas a mi frente y sembraste tu sonrisa en mi dolor. alegría me llenó completamente. Qué milagro fue vida mía, qué manera tienes de amar. De repente me moría por seguir de la corriente. Por la noche, por el día, te veía cada rostro de la gente. Vida mía, de repente caminaste en los caminos de mi mente. Le quitaste las arrugas a mi frente y sembraste tu sonrisa en mi dolor. Vida mía, tu locura me inundó violentamente. Tu demencia me llegó tan de repente que me hiciste que cayera en tu amor.